Well, hello random YouTube people. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special video for you today. My friends over at SuperClean have sent me some swag and some product. I have an all-wheel cleaner and a degreaser. I have an aerosol degreaser as well as a spray degreaser. I'm so excited to show you these SuperClean products and let you know what I think. Let's get to it.
Subscribe. So the first SuperClean product I'm going to try is the degreaser. I'm going to use it on my grill, which is very greasy. Let's take off some of these grill grates and the piece that covers the flames, and we're going to spray the SuperClean degreaser on it and see how well it will get the grease off of these pieces. So you can see it's been quite a long time since I've tried to clean the underneath part of the grill. So let's go ahead and use SuperClean on it and see how well it cleans. So I just set the grill grate on a piece of cardboard on my lawn, and we're going to spray the SuperClean on it and see if it starts to degrease. I'm going to leave all of the chunks of food and things that have fallen off over the years. And let's go ahead and turn it to the spray setting and let's start spraying it. Just going to spray a decent coat on it at first. And look, you can see that it's already falling off of the grill and it's carrying some of the grease with it. And I haven't even left it on there for the recommended 30 seconds yet. Just going to keep spraying it and see what we get. We have a quite angled backyard, that's why it's flowing so well, but you can see that it's carrying the grease with it. The bottle says to not let the product dry, so I went ahead and wiped it down, and you can see it already looks so much better. Let's keep going. Well, you can see as I start to wipe, it looks like it's not working, but it is. What you see is actually deformity on the actual piece of metal. Over time it's rusted and it's built up this little edge to it and it's a little rough. That's not grease, that's actually the metal. So the degreaser is actually getting rid of the grease and exposing what the deformities of the metal are here. So from what I can tell so far, SuperClean does seem to be doing a really good job at degreasing. I went over the section again with the degreaser one more time and I'm wiping it up, and I can see that's removed a lot of the grease, and what's left behind is just those deformities that I was talking about, but this looks so much better than it did. And now moving on to the really difficult part to clean. Look at this grate, it's got a crazy pattern to it and lots of different angles and sections. Let's spray SuperClean on here and see how well we can get these sections cleaned. You can already see there's a lot of rust kind of showing through on this section. I might want to try to find some kind of heat-resistant spray paint I can put back on this thing. But here we go with the SuperClean degreaser, and let's see how well it does. Just going to let that sit for a while and let the degreaser work. Just taking a second to remind you to read the directions on the back of the bottle and make sure you follow them. In some cases you might want to wear gloves and eye protection. Now just going through and wiping off the SuperClean before it dries, as it says on the bottle. And it's going to take a while. This is a really complex grate. I'm just going to fast forward. Just going back over one more time on both with some SuperClean to just get all the remaining grease off. I decided to ditch the cardboard and put this in a nice tote to capture all of the grease falling off. And hopefully this video makes enough money for me to buy a new crate, because I stole this from my wife. She keeps present wrapping paper in here, and we're gonna get her a new one after this. And take a look at this. After all the degreasing, this thing really does look really shiny and new, except for the deformities in the metal itself. But I would say that this SuperClean degreaser is doing a really good job. Let's look at the grate. Out here holding it up in the sun, and it looks great. It looks really clean. There is some texture to it, but this is the way that it came in the first place. So you can see there is some rust in some areas, but most of the grease, if not all of it, has been cleaned off by the SuperClean. Here's a better look in the sunlight at that piece of metal that covers the flames. You can see the SuperClean has really done a good job degreasing this piece of metal. I do see a lot of deformities from the heat over the years and the food that got stuck on that gave some rust to this piece. I would like to see in the comments any recommendations from any of you about a spray paint or something I can put on this that is heat resistant that would work well for this grill application. Now we're going to keep going with this SuperClean degreaser. I'm going to compare it to another cleaner that my wife found online several years ago that she's been using, and let's see which one works better. On the right, we're going to use our SuperClean degreaser. And on the left, we're going to use this product that my wife found online, maybe TikTok, I'm not sure, but it's a multi-surface cleaner. Let's see how well it does up against SuperClean-Degreaser. Now I've gone around and sprayed both of these a couple of times and wiped them off a couple of times. Now let's see the end results in the sunlight. So first up on the right, we have SuperClean, and on the left, we have that generic cleaner that my wife found. You can see that the SuperClean side is much less grease on it, where the other side still has quite an abundance of grease on it left. So you can see the SuperClean side is nice in a dark black and it's glossy, where the other side you can still see a lot of abundance of grease built up on it. Now I'm not going to fault either cleaner for the rust that we see on these grill pieces. I am going to do some research and find a good high quality spray paint that is heat resistant that I can spray back over this, and so I can keep using it. But to point out that the other cleaner just did not do as good a job at degreasing. Go SuperClean! Let's do another comparison between these two cleaners on a piece of the grill that does not have rust all over it. This little lip right before the grill starts is covered in grease, so we're going to spray the right side with SuperClean and spray the left side with the other cleaner and compare. So here we go with SuperClean on the right side, just spraying a thick amount, and I'm going to let that sit for the recommended amount of time, and I'm going to do the same with the other side with the other cleaner. Doing a first initial wipe down of the SuperClean side just to get that product off before it dries as per the recommendations. You can see just after this first initial spray and wipe down, it's already looking really good. Now for the next runner-up, which is the Safety Universal Cleaner. Let's see how well it can do. Just spraying down the left side and waiting the same amount of time as I did on the right before I start to wipe it down. While I wait for the left side to sit and marinate, if you will, I'm going to wipe down the right side again and look at that SuperClean. SuperClean side is looking great. Let's start to wipe down the Universal Cleaner side. Well, so far the left side with the Universal Cleaner is not looking nearly as good as the SuperClean side, but let's go ahead and spray it again just like we did with the right side to get it equal and even. So here's a look after 2 sprays and 2 wipe downs from both cleaners. Starting with the right side on SuperClean, you can see it does look super clean. It's nice and high glossy black, and the other side not nearly as good. It's really gritty. You can still see grease all over the place. I would say this is definitely not a win for the Universal Cleaner, but the SuperClean side looks so much better. Granted, there's still some more work to be done, so let's keep going. So I'm going back now over the Universal Cleaner side with SuperClean, and I'm going to see if it can clean up the other side just as well as it did the right side, and prove that the Universal Cleaner is just not as good as the SuperClean-Degreaser. Now while you sit and watch me clean the grill with the SuperClean, I just wanted to point out that you can use the links in my description to get SuperClean for yourself if you're interested. I would appreciate it if you use my links because I get a little kickback for it, but you can pick this stuff up at Lowe's or at Home Depot and places like that as well. Now here's our first look at the SuperClean Clean. You can see it's a nice high gloss black just like it was when it was brand new. And we cleaned up the other side, the left side, that we used the Universal Cleaner on, and now because we use SuperClean, it looks so much better. It too is a nice high glossy black and all the grease is gone. I would highly recommend the SuperClean as a degreaser product. I'm so excited to move on and show you the next product.
The next thing I want to try to clean with SuperClean is my oven. Since it's by far the easiest thing to get to, I'm going to start trying to clean this glass. I've been using the spray SuperClean. Now I'm going to try the aerosol version. Let's go ahead and shake this up. But you can see that they indicate that it's good for cleaning brakes, grills, engines. So we should be able to clean this glass pretty well. It says for tough messes. And it's got biodegradable detergents in it. Let's check out the aerosol version. Oop. Probably a bigger spray outward than I'd like for the indoors, so I'm just going to get close. Spray on a good layer of this SuperClean. I'm just going to let it sit and dissolve the grease. Be sure, of course, to follow the instructions. If you're, depending on where you're spraying the SuperClean, you're going to want to wear gloves and eye protection. You can see it's already started to kind of bubble up over here and spread out, so it's probably eating away at the grease. Let's go get a rag to wipe this off with. All right, it's been sitting for a little while now. On the other bottle, it said wait 30 seconds, but the aerosol spray doesn't say anything like that. let's go ahead and start wiping this up and see what we get. So far, guys, I'm not seeing that it's done anything. It could be that this is just so caked on that I need to do a couple more rounds, but right now, so far, I don't see that it's done anything to remove this grease. So, kind of unimpressed there. Let's keep trying and see what we get. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't really look like it did pretty much anything. So maybe I need to try again. Maybe I need to try the other version, but I'm going to go ahead and spray it again and let it sit for even longer this time and let it dissolve the grease. So far, nothing's happened yet. I'm hoping that round 2 will go better than round 1. Here we go with round 2. Just getting the aerosol spray, and I'm going to spray it on again just like before. Let me get a nice thick layer this time, see if that's gonna eat through. An important thing to note is in the instructions, it says give it time to do the dissolving part, but it says do not allow it to dry on surface. So I'm not gonna let this just completely dry. I will let it dissolve a little bit more before I start wiping it up, but that was something that was in the instructions, is don't let it dry on the surface. All right, I've given it quite a few minutes to dissolve, and let's try wiping it off now and see if there's any better results. It's not coming off as well as I would hope it would. If I sit here with my finger and really scrub, it's starting to come off. I was hoping that it would be a little bit easier to wipe off afterward. Yeah, that's gonna take some elbow grease for sure. I do have this old school spatula that we use sometimes on our floors, and I'm gonna see if I can lightly just scrape it off with this. Trying not to scrape the glass. So it is coming off. It just might take a couple of rounds of this to get it completely clean. But like I said, it's gonna use some elbow grease. Instead of using my metal one, I'm gonna go try to find a plastic one instead. Well, I do not have a plastic spatula like that anymore, but I need to wipe this off before it dries like the instructions say. Let's see what kind of progress we can make. So this section's coming out cleaner. I just need to sit here and scrub it off with my fingers. Perhaps I need to switch gears and go for my attachments to my Ryobi impact driver. Let's go ahead and wipe this off and try for round 3 with my scrub brush with my Ryobi. It is taking off the grime here in the corner. Like I said, it is slowly working. Might need a couple rounds of it. This is a good test. I don't think we've cleaned this in a couple years now, unfortunately. Probably do better maintenance, huh? You'd expect that out of a DIY guy, is to better maintenance on your appliances, right? But we are starting now with SuperClean. So yeah, my towel's wet. If I were to sit here and scrub like this, it is coming off. So it is dissolving the grease. Just a little more elbow grease than I would prefer. And it's definitely coming off with some scrubbing. All right, we're gonna try for spraying round 3, and I'm gonna go get my little scrub brushes and the attachments for my Ryobi impact driver or drills and see if we can get this degreased better with those attachments. Let's see. Round 3 on this glass. I'm gonna let that degrease, and I'll be back with my attachments to my Ryobi. Alrighty, back with my Ryobi with the scrub brush attachment. I have a harder bristle brush here, and I can't find the attachment that allows you to click on these much softer pads. When we rebuilt these shelves just recently, I haven't put things back together quite yet, and I don't know where it's at, but we'll try these softer bristles at the moment. Let's see how that goes. just gonna, of course, go slow. It's hard to see through to know if I'm doing a good job or not, because these bubbles are thick. But let's keep going. This is much better elbow grease than my elbows, that's for sure. All right, so let's wipe this off and see where we're at. Moment of truth. You can still see the bubbles are still on there. Still pretty good. Well, so far it's looking a lot better. There's some smaller stuck-on parts that I can use with my old-fashioned elbow grease to get off. But let's keep going a little bit. But you can already see this is looking way better than me trying to do it with just a towel. The addition of the scrub brush attached to my Ryobi drill is certainly making it much easier to clean this glass. But the degreaser is doing its job, degreasing the grease. There's some stuck-on spots here in the corner. But it is coming off as I scrub a little harder. So far so good. I mean, you can't tell those streaks are even there anymore. I'll need to wash it again after I'm done, just with water or something. Maybe some Windex, I don't know. But the degreaser I don't think is necessarily a glass cleaner, so we'll see if just this will work, or if we're gonna need to use something else as well. Well, the huge, big, long streaks are gone. It's just these teeny little, more thick, caked-on spots that are still there, but they are coming off as I scrub them each individually with this rag. Now, I've wiped it all up, but there's obviously still some here in the rag, so I'm going to keep on trying to get these smaller spots off. Now, it's hard to tell, but you can see there aren't those big long streaks anymore. Just a couple of spots right there and there and there that I can get off. But actually some of those, the thicker spots that we see right there, let me zoom out, those are actually on the inside of the glass, like we were talking about earlier. It's so hard to tell. If I even try to zoom in here, you can't really tell which side of the glass it's on. But there's this side of the glass and then the underneath in between. There's two panes of glass. This one and the bottom one. And it's actually on the inside, all of those right there. So it might look like it didn't work, but actually we're cleaning the completely different piece of glass. So it is working really quite well after the addition of the automatic scrub brush, if you will, the Ryobi. Now what I have here is just some water in a bottle. I'm just going to try to spray it on the glass and wipe it off with a paper towel and see if we can get some of those streaks to go away. All right, so I'm taking the view from a different angle. You can see that the top layer of glass is pretty dang clean, but the layer on the inside over here, you can still see the grease from the inside of the glass. We're gonna have to take off the whole front of this oven just to get to that piece of glass. But there are some little teeny residue that I can still work on to get off. I'm sure if I sprayed another round and used my scrub brush again with the Ryobi impact driver attachment, I could probably get that off. I could sit and scrub with my rag and that'll probably do it too. But overall, it's pretty dang clean. It did a good job after the addition of the Ryobi to get this grease off. So it doesn't just eat away at it and you can just wipe it off. There is a little bit of scrubbing that you might need to do, but overall, I think it's doing a great job. I just sprayed on round 4. I'm gonna let that dissolve and go back with the Ryobi. Maybe on the thicker bristle version of this attachment, so we can get those pesky little teeny spots off. It's taking off the stuff on the side, very nice. But again, I had to use a scrub brush, an automatic one. But no, now it's taking off that stuff really good right now. So I guess it may take a couple applications before this works. At least before it gets it all off. It works every time, just each round is a little better. Oh guys, it's looking so good. Most of the majority of the big spots are completely gone. I just have these little teeny itsy bitsy, but can barely even see spots. Oh, it's looking so good. Shout out to SuperClean. Wow, this is actually getting it done really well. It didn't work the first time. With the addition of a scrub brush attached to my impact diver or my drill, it's working wonders. Of course, I had to do it a couple of times, but it's looking amazing right now. Let's keep going. Oh yeah, it's getting this off so well, guys. It's gonna look brand new by the time we're done. Not that the camera's gonna pick it up very well. Recording glass, it's kind of hard, especially indoors. Looks so good. It would be cool if this is just a spray and wipe off and it was just completely clean. There is a little bit of work involved, but the end result is that it's looking great. Let's go ahead and spray water on it again and clean it with the paper towel. Well,
that looks good.
Well, like I said, it's hard to record glass, but it's looking great. All these spots are on the other side. On the top part that we cleaned with the degreaser, and I wiped it down with just cool, cold water, it looks amazing. It looks brand new in some parts. This whole part was caked on with stuff, and there's hardly anything on here anymore. And the glass itself is looking so good, except for some of these tiny little teeny minuscule spots that I could sit and spend the time and scrub them all off. But overall, this SuperClean degreaser did a great, fantastic job, and I'm really happy with it actually. Now we need to move on to some of the other parts of the oven, but overall, the SuperClean degreaser, wherever it went, highly recommended degreaser. Next up, we have the SuperClean all-wheel cleaner. Foams away grime and brake dust and super fast and easy. On the directions, it says to rinse thoroughly with water first. So let's go ahead and do that. But you can see this tire is in need of some cleaning. It's got some buildup of hard water and things like that. Got some dirt around the tires. So let's see what SuperClean can do.
And here I'm just rinsing the wheel with water like it says to do in the directions. So I didn't want to rinse it too thoroughly because I really did want to see what SuperClean can do. So let's go ahead and spray a coating on it. It says to leave it for 30 seconds to allow the foam to work. And then we're going to wipe it off and see where we're at. I was hoping that the foam would just stick to the wheel a little bit, but it does kind of just drip down onto the floor. I've seen some other product where you spray the foam and the foam just sits there really good, but this product's not really sitting there, so I might have to wipe it up faster than the 30 seconds.
All right, let's go ahead and wipe this off. I think I'll find a better towel. This one's really dirty. I went for some of these shop towels. I don't have any clean microfiber cloths. Sure is making the chrome look shiny. Well, I had to pull my truck into the garage because my camera stopped working because of the heat. It's 101 outside and the direct heat to this phone while I was recording, just so I can get some good shots. My phone turned off. But the SuperClean, you can see that these wheels look nice and clean. They look brand new actually. What's nice about the SuperClean all-wheel cleaner is that it doesn't make your tires look super shiny. And the reason why that's not good with some products that make your tires look shiny, although it looks cool and all, it gets dirt stuck to it. When we go camping, for example, and we're on the dirt roads, man, that dirt just gets stuck to the wheel sides because of that, or those products that keep it shiny. This makes it look new. I don't know if you can tell, but the shine on it is really nice. It's not a bright, glossy shine, but it looks like it's a brand new tire. And the rims are nice and chrome. You can see my SuperClean through the tire there. So just as a comparison, this is what it looks like with the dirt on it, and that's what it looks like with the SuperClean cleaner. And I only did one spray and one wipe down. I could do more, and maybe that would be even better. But so far, the SuperClean wheel cleaner does do a great job cleaning. These chrome wheels haven't looked this shiny in a long time. So by comparison, let's go look at the other wheel. So this is the wheel that was dirty, and it's still got a lot of spots on it. You can see the grime on the wheel, and you can see that the tires are still very dirty from just driving around in the dirt. And what's going to be nice, like I said, is the dirt's not going to get stuck to the sidewall here. So here's a shot, and let's try to get that same shot on the other wheel. And I don't know if you can tell, it's hard to get this kind of stuff on video, it really is. But this tire looks so much better. So that is my arrangement of SuperClean products. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, random YouTube people. And thanks to SuperClean for providing the products and the swag for this video. Remember, you can click on the products in the link in the description, and you can also click share, click like, and click subscribe.
Subscribe.